Hello, I'm RJ City, and you are listening to the MonsterCast. You're going to talk about Bela Lugosi. They're going to talk about Lon Chaney Jr. He'd be so sad holding his hat saying, please put me in this room and don't unlock the door. And you can't do any better than the Dahl brothers. Jack and Ryan, they're brothers, but they're also bros. What? Pardon? Wrestling. Well, who the hell wants to talk about wrestling? These are horror movies. It's a deep genre. It's a smart genre. Fantastic actors. Fantastic cinematography. Wrestling is just sweating and fireworks and bouncy ropes. There's nothing. So how can you talk about that every week? All right. Let's see them try. Take it away, you crazy dolls.
What's up, you guys? Sean Ross Sapp, Fightful here. You're watching the MonsterCast with Jack and Ryan. A big shout out to those fellas. Good people. Check them out.
Jake and Brian. Brandon Cutler here from AEW, and I hope you guys have an awesome podcast with the MonsterCast. What was that? Your name is Jack and Ryan? Shut up, Jack and Ryan.
Wrestling podcast? How fucking original.
I mean, you're welcome.
Here's your host of the MonsterCast, the Straight Edge Monster Jack and Ryan.
Hello everybody, welcome to the MonsterCast. We got a huge show for you today. We are going to do the WWE Draft coverage of Night 2 live right here. Then we're going to hit you up with the actual show for this week right after. Hope you are ready for an insane show. So on YouTube, if you're seeing this cut up, you'll know why we're wearing the exact same thing. Well, Ryan's always wearing the same thing, but I will be wearing the exact same thing for all these videos, so... That is
just like a cartoon character, bro. It's just easier.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. You're like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. He's just wearing the same shit every
Black
episode.
V-neck and joggers, bro, every day.
That's how you do it. No,
you should see my closet. It's like 9 of the same shirt.
We have done Night 1 coverage already. We gave the win to SmackDown, I believe, overall. It wasn't really that close, honestly.
Yeah.
We're going to see if Raw can recover in round 2. If you watched round 2 from this previous episode, right? It was this last Raw. We were going to do this. We were actually going to do the show on Saturday.
Right.
And it did not happen.
We decided
Jack was tired.
Sleep.
Jack was very tired. But
I was too. Okay.
we also did our Backlash predictions on late Friday into Saturday morning, so that was another reason probably why. Yeah. Then, of course, we had a lot of shit going on. Obviously, Saturday also had Backlash, which we will talk about on the actual show. But let's get into WWE Draft Night 2. Let's go! Here we go. Don't forget, we're going to give a grade at the end of each of these for each brand as well. So let's hope I set everything up correctly the first time here. There we go. Round 1 of Night 2. Raw picks Rhea Ripley, and SmackDown got Austin Theory. I'm going to just go ahead and say it. Raw opened up on top, and it wasn't close.
You're just an Austin Theory hater, okay?
I am.
You don't understand that his time is now, and you got real upset that he beat John Cena. If we're going back to the kayfabe sports presentation point of view, when you're looking at champions that are left in today's pool to pick, it makes sense to pick Theory. I'm fine with that choice. And Rhea obviously was a good choice. Does introduce some confusion about the whole SmackDown belt versus Raw belt branding for the women's championships right now. But other than that, I mean, they're both good choices. I don't think that I don't think I can give either one of them lower than an A. Like it just makes sense for what was left.
Okay, so the confusion aside, which didn't get cleared up at Backlash, obviously, they got Austin Theory because Austin Theory had the title. In no way, shape, or form do I believe that they picked Austin Theory because they wanted Austin Theory on their team, or on their brand, I should say. So they picked Austin Theory because he was the champ at the time. I do believe that it also helped that the match was already made for the triple threat match that included Bobby Lashley and Bronson Reed. So at least in this way, they had a 2 out of 3 chance to still have the U.S. title by going ahead and selecting Austin Theory. Because if Bronson Reed won, then of course they would lose the fucking title to Raw.
Right. Just looking at the pool of who was available, that made the most sense. He was the only other champion left, as far as I can tell. Well, no, because they don't have it anymore. So yeah, I mean, there were no other champions or anything. It made sense.
Well, you wouldn't rather have Owens and Zayn?
Were they on the list?
Oh yeah, they got picked in the 3rd round by
yeah.
Raw.
I was looking at the Usos. That's why I said, oh yeah, they're not champions anymore. But yeah, I didn't even see them on the list. Isn't the thing with the tag team champions that they're allowed to go to either brand anyway? So
But if I can get Owens and Zayn at the same time, over Austin Theory,
when they lose the belt.
By the way, I just do want to throw out there that the rumors, remember that we talked about this on the Backlash show, that the rumors was that Triple H is going to rename the women's titles. There's also been talk about splitting the tag titles up and renaming those like they used to be as well. So if you believe that, and those came out way before draft, or that rumor came out way before night 2 of the draft, then I would still take the tag team champions.
Maybe. I still think that what makes the most sense with the tag team belts is to just unify them into one belt and then have them defend it across both shows, because their tag division isn't deep enough to do the whole, like, let's keep separate tag division shit. It's the same complaint that we have with the women's division, but worse. Their women's division now, actually, if they were to do it across both shows, would be fairly deep. But the tag division, there's not enough depth there to maintain 2 completely different tag divisions. So yeah, I don't know why they would split them
I'm
up.
going to agree with you because I've been on that bandwagon the whole time too.
Yeah.
At first we were saying that the world title, the tag titles, and the women's title should be unified and defended across both brands, and the only 2 titles that should be really separated are the US and the Intercontinental, because you had, at the time when we made the argument, Brock Lesnar on one side and Roman Reigns on the other, and neither one were defending the world titles. So if you were only going to defend it on pay-per-views and only show up in compete in matches at pay-per-views, then it made more sense to have 2 single titles on each brand to be the US and the Intercontinental. Now we've changed our mind and said, yeah, we need 2 different world titles, because one, like we've covered last week's show, you have 240 people signed to your roster. I mean, not all around the main roster, but still, you have 240 people signed to your roster in 2 shows. So your main event scene should be bigger than it is, for one. So I don't have a problem with the 2 world titles. The issue was obviously when they dropped in the 3rd world title and completely bungled this whole fucking thing. Now, with all that being said, the other title that I have no problem being one title is obviously the women's tag titles, because now they have a lot of women's tag teams that they've gone through in this draft and selected. So now you actually have a semi-fucking decent division that could travel back and forth. But here's my question, is if they were to go ahead and just combine the titles for the tag titles, for the men's tag titles, and make it a unified thing, then why the fuck, as Raw or SmackDown, would I even draft a tag team until way later in the draft? Because you could just put 2 guys together and have them go on a fucking run if I'm building a roster, like in kayfabe, I mean.
Well, that's why I'm saying that this wasn't a bad pick, because they are right now unified champions, and right now the understanding is that they're going to go wrestle on multiple brands. So having them doesn't really do anything big for you. Like, you still have them when they lose it, if and when they lose it.
Yeah, which is why we were saying, like on night 1, we were like, I like the Street Profits, but I wouldn't have drafted them that high.
Right.
Even more so now, if you were to unify the tag titles, it would make even less sense to draft the Street Profits that high.
Yeah, I agree. We'll get to that in a couple rounds, because there's some picks that get made before Well, there's one pick that gets made before Kevin and Sammy where I'm like, all right. But we'll get to that one. As far as this one, this all makes sense to me. I feel like both picks are fine. I know you're not a big Theory fan, but I give both of these an A. That's fine with me.
All right, well, I give Rhea Ripley an A+. So we're going A+ there. And I'll go A- with Theory. Because, yes, no, I'm not a fan, but it's nice to have the title, especially when you lost Gunther to Raw. So you kind of had to pick the U.S. title, which I don't understand why they let Gunther go anyway, because they had a chance to get Gunther, like we talked about on night one. So it's your own fault that you let Gunther go.
Yeah. I had a chance.
I mean, you could have had Gunther in Imperium, but no, you waited till night 2 and got fucking Austin Theory. So really, you traded Austin Theory for Imperium, which is a terrible pick. So you get A-.
But this is the thing we talked about too, right? So in kayfabe, do they know that if one brand gets Intercontinental, that the other brand necessarily has to get the U.S. title? Because then that makes this pick make no fucking sense, because you were going to get him anyway.
Yeah, well, let's see. I don't think that's the case because Rhea Ripley and Bianca are now both on the same brand, though. I mean, well, they're not on the same brand, but they got the different sets of titles, so it doesn't matter.
Well, that's a different thing altogether. But the U.S. and Intercontinental are definitely, we're never going to be on the same brand. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that works.
Hey man, don't talk to me about titles being on the same brand, because with the shit that Triple H announced with this tournament that we'll probably talk about on the actual show, the people that are trying to fucking mansplain that to me, like, I don't know, like, oh, it makes sense. No, it fucking doesn't.
You know what I need? You know what I need to happen with that belt? I need Roman Reigns to win it.
I want him to win it now. Honestly, I want him to win it now. I'm not even kidding you. Like, I want you people to get so mad and understand that this is the dumbest shit ever. I just want him to win it. Fuck it.
I want him to win it just because the promo that he cuts on Triple H for trying to make it a different belt, saying that they needed somebody else who was going to defend it and didn't need to be acknowledged and all that shit, that would just be so good, dude. I think that's the funniest thing they could do with it, and the best written thing I think they could do with it. That would make it immediately... I don't know that it immediately buries it either. It also gives it some more prestige. Obviously, whoever beats Roman for that, it's not the same as beating him for the big one, and it would probably be split out into a different match or whatever.
Oh, but here's the drawback to it, is that we have to listen to incessant e-drones talk about, oh, he's the real belt collector because he won 3 world titles from the same company.
Well, why the fuck does the same company have 3 world titles?
Exactly, but that's not what they're going to lean on.
Yeah. Also, I'm pretty sure Omega had 4. Didn't he? He had the AAA, he had Impact, he had the other Impact, and then he had AEW.
The other Impact. Yeah, he had 2 Impact world titles.
Yeah. So, counts.
He didn't win them separately. It was a unified thing.
So?
It doesn't count. Just like these don't count. It's 1 world title. I don't give a fuck. All right?
I still think that's the funniest
This
thing
is the only way that... Okay, so here's the other thing about what you're saying is, like, it would be the funniest thing they could write. Well, they can't write anything worse because they already did that by having the SmackDown people involved in the fucking tournament.
They could write something worse. They could have Matt Riddle win. They could have
If
Omos
Matt Riddle's
win.
on Raw, then it's not worse than what the fuck they got going on right now.
Oh, it would be worse. They could have Omos win. There's worse. There's worse things they could do.
All right, well, that was our grades right there. A- for Austin Theory's pick. A+ for Rhea Ripley. Starting off strong from both sides, honestly.
It's hard not to when it's the first pick. Everybody's still available. It's pretty good.
Like, it's hard to mess up the first pick, but hey, they did it the first night. So,
They did.
round 2. Raw went with Seth freaking Rollins, and SmackDown went with Charlotte Flair. No champions here, but a lot of championship pedigree between the both of them. What do we think about these picks?
Rollins makes a lot of sense to me. Charlotte doesn't. Charlotte hasn't done that much lately. The most recent thing she's done is lose the belt. And if they were like trying to build their women's division or anything like that, you still had Asuka in the pool. Just people that have been more active, I guess you could say, and had more matches recently, done more recently. It's not like the worst pick in the world. Obviously, she when she has the belt 50 times and could say she's a 50-time champion. it makes it look good on paper. But
Well,
as
she's
far
14 now, so she's only going to win it 2 more times.
yeah. But yeah, as far as everybody that was available, I don't know that that was the right pick, especially because you still had the Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens tag team champion pick. So I don't know that picking Charlotte Flair here really makes sense. You're picking somebody that hasn't really done that much lately, somebody that's not a champion, and picking them over the undisputed tag team champions doesn't really make sense in kayfabe.
But if we're talking about what we just talked about, why do you need the tag team titles if you're going to be cross-branded through both shows? You don't really need them. It would be more of a, hey, I want Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens at the same time over Charlotte more than it is I want the tag titles.
I still think that's a better argument.
No, I
than
agree.
picking
I agree.
Charlotte.
I can make that argument for Seth Rollins too, though.
I
but
wouldn't. Fuck no. Come on.
I could easily make that argument for Seth Rollins too. Seth Rollins doesn't even know what the fuck his character even is right now. So
He doesn't need a character. He's good at wrestling. Okay.
well, the other two don't need him either. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens don't need him either.
Kevin Owens is not that good at wrestling.
Oh my!
I know.
What
you
the
like
fuck
him a
did you
lot,
become a
but he's
Kevin
just-
Owens hater anyway?
he's just not-
Because you've
he's
been
not-
that way for like a year now at least.
It's not that I hate him. He's not. What's his character?
What's Seth
you-
Rollins' character? That's
He's
my
a
whole
cool guy.
point.
He's a cool guy and dresses cool. That's his character. Okay.
You think he dresses cool?
I think he dresses cool.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
The guy that wears a plain black shirt every fucking week. You think he dresses cool? Nice try, guy.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, Charlotte dresses cool then.
That thing that Charlotte wearing is cool too, but I wouldn't fucking wear that to Whole Foods. Listen,
You think she wears that to Whole Foods?
maybe.
I'm pretty sure Rollins would wear his shit to Whole Foods.
I think if I'm Ric Flair's daughter, I'm wearing that to fucking Whole Foods. Yeah, absolutely.
Ric Flair doesn't even wear his robes to Whole Foods.
You think that man doesn't wear his robes in public?
No, he wears the snakeskin boots, baby.
Well, he doesn't wear them since he had to pawn them, but he has in the past. I would.
Not unless he's getting paid from somebody from an advertisement.
He's doing a car dealership commercial. I think. Let
me give you my thoughts on it right quick, because I love the Rollins pick, obviously. But to your point with the tag team title, I have no problem with SmackDown picking up Charlotte but only in hindsight though, because they still got Asuka later. So SmackDown still got Asuka. So if SmackDown lost Asuka in the next round and Raw picked Asuka first in the next round, then I would say, I didn't really like this pick as much. I have no problem with the Charlotte Flair pick because of who you got in the first round and who you got, and you still got Asuka later. So that helped.
I think if you're
on SmackDown, right, and you've lost Rollins, you've lost Gunther and Imperium, you've lost Cody. If your main event roster is literally Roman and then no one else, okay,
yeah,
Bobby Lashley.
That's the whole company.
Listen, then you go out of your way to make another division really fucking deep that Raw can't. So they went with SmackDown. So I do believe Charlotte's a better pick than Trish Stratus that Raw drafted.
Yeah, no shit.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Like you're working with what you have in the pool, right?
Well, that's
the only
way
person that I would
later.
pick over Charlotte as far as female talent would be Asuka that was in
Asuka.
that pool, and they still got Asuka, so I can't hate that pick that much. That's what I'm saying.
They didn't know they were gonna. Well, okay, they obviously knew because
Yeah, you get what I'm saying. I said in hindsight. If they didn't get Asuka, I would be bashing this pick. Yes, for sure.
You should still bash it because you should be judging it based on what they knew at the time. In kayfabe.
But I'm saying what their strategy at the time, kayfabe wise, is hey, we're gonna go get a deep female roster
we're like 3 layers of bullshit deep, as far as
in fake kayfabe. Yes, that's
Yeah,
that's the
I
whole
know.
point of this. We're trying to make it more real than WWE did.
And if it were real, I think Charlotte would not be the right pick here. That's the point. I would give this like a B because she's not bad. It's just not the best thing that was.
But she has
available
more
still in the
crossover
pool.
appeal than Asuka does too, though.
She has what?
She has more crossover appeal than Asuka does as well.
Oh yeah, where's her fucking YouTube channel with as many subs as Asuka has?
I'm saying in celebrity circles, not YouTube circles. YouTube circles don't mean shit. We all know that.
YouTube
Nobody
circles are
watches
celebrity circles.
AEW Dark and Dark Elevation, man.
YouTube circles are celebrity circles. You have any
Nah,
idea how
no,
many
they're not.
YouTube people?
Mr.
Are like
Beast, come on.
Yeah,
man, don't be
Mr.
that guy.
Beast. That's right. Goddamn
I have not
Mr.
watched
Beast.
one goddamn Mr. Beast video in my entire life.
Asuka, I haven't either, but Asuka is the Mr. Beast of wrestling. Okay.
Yeah, I disagree with that too. That would be BTE.
Would it?
Either that, well, I don't know. What do we? How long has Mr. Beast been doing his videos?
I don't
A long
know.
time?
I don't fucking watch Mr.
Okay,
Beast.
well, I'm just saying because it could have been Zack Ryder back in the day.
I'm just saying that there's a much thinner line between YouTube and celebrity now than there used to be. So
All I'm saying
crossover
is they still
feels-
got both anyway, so I'm not killing this pick.
Okay. I'm gonna give it a B.
14-time champion. Well, we're gonna give it a B plus. I don't even know what the fuck I'm on right
14
now.
times means she lost it 14 times. That's not good.
Yeah, so what?
She hasn't been wrestling enough to lose it 14 fucking times. How long had Ric Flair been wrestling when he was 14-time champion? A long ass time.
Since the 70s, yes.
Yeah. So saying I'm a 14-time champion in like
Well,
6
I don't know when his
years,
first title, when he got his first title. I want to say 79,
this means
but
you
I'm
keep
not
getting your ass
positive on
beat. Yeah, I would have gone with Asuka.
that. You're not messing with Will Washington or fucking Tony Khan over here. I'm pretty sure it was 79 though, because he got in the plane crash in 75.
Let's see how they do on the monster quiz, okay?
Yeah, okay.
Will
I bet they
Washington
didn't get.
probably
I
do
bet they
better.
didn't go undefeated at Backlash.
Yeah. Did we?
I did.
Oh yeah, because I fucking picked Lesnar last second and shit.
Yeah, your vote was a vote for racism. That's why.
I've heard.
And
this.
you lost.
Yeah.
Cody thwarts racism again, baby.
What a.
We'll talk
fucking
about
game.
that though later. But anyway, so you said Charlotte what?
A B.
A B.
As in
So we're gonna
boy.
B plus.
Bravo.
I'll bump it up to a B plus. And Rollins is a A what? A plus? A? Just regular A because there's still champions left on the board.
A. Yeah, I give it A because you
All
said
right, I can agree with that. A for that one. So Raw is coming back a little bit stronger. They won the first 2 rounds here in round 2. Those are our grades for round 2. A for Rollins, B plus for Charlotte. Raw has the slight edge over the first 2 rounds where they were getting murdered in in night 1. Okay.
I don't know what the fuck they were.
All right, let's go up to round 3. Here we go. Now here we go. Here's some tag teams for you. Round 3, Raw went with the undisputed tag team champions with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. And then SmackDown, of course, if you're going to see them go off the board, why not grab the best tag team in your company with the Usos?
Because you should be building a different division if they've already got the other champions. So,
So this is what
just
you
said
think
10
this is
minutes
where you
ago.
think they should have picked an Asuka or an
Yeah.
Asuka and then a Flair here rather.
If I'm a different company and somebody picks tag team champions that can go cross company, I'm not worried about fucking picking tag team champions anymore. Let them deal with that. And then I will just build up a women's division or like a U.S. title.
No, I totally agree because guess what? In the supplemental draft or in a free agents thing, guess who I can get? I can go get Angel Garza and fucking Humberto Carrillo and fucking have a tag team right there that has talent that you could finally fucking use and then have them go crossover and actually potentially take the fucking tag titles away from someone who are also younger than all 4 of these guys. Way younger.
Yeah. I understand why they did it in kayfabe because it's like you're splitting them up now. That's apparently supposed to be the end of the bloodline story for a little while, whatever. They're on different brands, blah blah blah. But we'll see where
Well,
that
yeah,
goes.
Backlash was supposed to be like the last little part between these
I don't know
guys.
how
But
that was
because
the
they can go
blow-off.
back and forth between the shows. Is it really over though?
I don't know. It didn't feel like a good blow off to me. You get Matt Riddle get pinned. It's like, okay.
But there was no other way to go with it either, unless they were
like-
going to lose, and then Solo went off on everybody and fucking
like you
Ken
don't-
Shamrock. Ken Shamrocked everybody, but with his thumb.
Yeah, he's got to get a new move. Yeah, this is fine. A for Raw, A for SmackDown. I think these are both fine picks.
You know what? I love Solo's wrestling nickname though. Street Champ. It sounds like something New Japan came up with. Street Champ. Solo Sikoa. I'm like, every time they say it and he's across his fucking tights, I'm like, man, that's some shit that New Japan would just give somebody. Gato would just say, yeah, you're Street Champ.
Yeah, it's because their English isn't perfect. It doesn't sound right because it's
No,
weird.
I like it. That's what I'm saying. It reminds me of New Japan.
All right. You know,
Something different.
Master
Instead of
Wallace-
WWE just trying to be cool with some words that the kids are saying now and give it to somebody, and then it completely falls on its face.
the Drip God.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad they didn't call Seth Rollins that one when it came out.
Yeah. Oh, freaking ain't much better.
That's true too, but he's had that for a while.
Yeah. he was
I actually have
kind
a
of
Seth freaking Rollins shirt from when he first started using it or whatever.
Well, he did Tyler freaking Black for a while too, didn't he? It's a while ago.
Who?
Tyler freaking Black.
Oh yeah, but it was Tyler fucking Black though. It was.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's PG.
Yeah. All right, so do you give the slight edge to Raw here over SmackDown because they got the titles currently? Or would you still rather have the Usos?
I mean, you don't. Okay, so there's two ways to look at that. If you're building a tag division, you'd almost definitely rather have the Usos. And if you're getting two guys who are currently tag champions, but with the anticipation of them not having it forever, which they won't, and then you want to build a singles division out of those two guys, then it makes more sense to pick Sammy and Kevin. So
No, agreed. So it looks like it just worked out good for both of the brands, right? Because like if
Yeah,
Raw,
that's why I gave them
because
both an A.
Raw has the new title, and after Cody and Seth, who do you have? And why not put two other guys that's already lost to fucking Roman a million times in Sammy and Owens to help? Now you got fucking 4 dudes at the top single wise after they drop the tag titles that make your fucking main event roster look really fucking good as far as the new world title.
yeah, that's why I gave them both an A. That's fine for both of them. It depends on what you want to pretend that they want and what you want to pretend they are pretending makes sense. So.
I'll agree with that. I'll give them both an A, so that's a wash right there. A for Raw's pick of Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. A for the Usos for SmackDown. So we're still in agreement that Raw has the slight edge here.
Yeah.
All right, round 4. Here we go. Round 4 got the rest of the Judgment Day. And SmackDown got LWO. Now, at first I was kind of pissed because Rhea wasn't with the Judgment Day, but I assume that's because she was a champion. So I guess that made a little bit more sense. However, when you got LWO sitting there with fucking 5 members, and we talked about why we would rather have the OC, remember? Because we had everybody from somebody for each division, right? Well, same thing here. Not only do you have everybody for each division, you got a fucking WWE Hall of Famer in it as well in Rey Mysterio. So I actually prefer the SmackDown pick here. What say you?
Well, the Rhea as a champion thing doesn't make any sense because Gunther is too, and he still got drafted with Imperium.
No, yeah,
so I don't know why.
I agree.
I don't know why the fuck they split.
Yeah, I don't
either.
understand it either. But
Especially if you're gonna put them on the same brand anyway, it doesn't make any fucking sense.
yeah, it was a waste of a pick. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know why they did it that way. It seems like they remembered afterward, and then they were like, "Oh yeah, we have to give them to Raw." From what's left, I mean, I'm looking at the pool list over here, and just looking at like what was left at the time.
Asuka's still sitting there.
I might have gone Asuka. I might have gone
New Day still sitting there.
New Day, Brawling Brutes. LA Knight.
Yeah, I was about to say, if you weren't going to say it, I was about to. Fuck yeah, LA Knight. But I understand that you also need depth, and if you can get it in one fell swoop, I like the LWO pick better.
This shit says Brock Lesnar's in the pool. That can't be right.
No, he negotiated his way to be a free agent.
Okay.
You don't still have my thing?
I don't.
Just go to the notes app. I got it all broken down for you. But yeah, you got New Day, you got Brawling Brutes, you got LA Knight, which I love. You got a lot of the later picks are NXT picks, but still.
But you don't have the pool in here. That's the point. So yeah, no, he's listed in the pool for that night before they, I guess, retconned that and said nah. But yeah, there's definitely other picks in there. The Asuka, the LA Knight. I don't know, man. I'm not crazy about either one of these picks. It's not like Judgment Day is one shit since the start of the Edge stuff, really.
Yeah, no, Finn lost the Edge at WrestleMania. Damian Priest lost to Bad Bunny at Backlash, and Dominic lost to Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania. So their biggest feuds, they've all come out with losses, and they already picked the best one from the group earlier in Rhea Ripley on the round 1. So like,
also, I don't like this because it kind of makes an abrupt, weird fucking end to the Rey Dominic stuff. It's just, again, it's just they're cutting off storylines that aren't quite finished yet. I don't know.
Even though it still wouldn't have made sense, would you have had less of a problem if they would have put Rhea in a different pool? And doesn't this make it look even more dumb that they were in the same night? Like, literally, she got picked the first round, and then the rest of the Judgment Day got picked in round 4 on the same night. Doesn't that make it more dumb?
Into the same brand, yeah, I don't get it. Just from what's left, like if you're trying to build tag divisions or anything like that, there was better picks. I don't know what the fuck they think you're gonna do with Dominic when he doesn't have Ray to work off of. Finn Balor's been kind of middling around for a little while. I don't think they're really.
Have you ever seen a stable where like 3 of the 4 would just be better off by themselves? Damian, Finn, and Rhea would just be better off by themselves.
I don't know if Damian would.
Oh,
he kind of needs a group.
He did way better than I thought he was going to at Backlash.
That's because
it wasn't like Bad Bunny was carrying the match.
Bad Bunny was absolutely carrying that match.
Come on, man, don't be that guy.
Did you see that shit?
Damian Priest did a good fucking job.
We're gonna have some discourse about whether or not Bad Bunny is better than Logan Paul in a little bit.
Oh, you think so?
I do think so.
Okay.
So I'm not crazy about the Judgment Day pick. I give that like a C. And then
there's no way you're about to be on Logan Paul's side.
No. Why would I be on? No.
Well, I sure the fuck ain't on Logan Paul's side. My tweet is very clear.
I didn't see your fucking tweet. I don't read everything.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought that's what you were referring to because it's not part of the show, so I didn't know why you brought it up unless you saw the tweet.
No. Because some people were talking about the shit last night. And
yeah. They asked who was better or whatever. I made
my
my point very clear. Bad Bunny is a better professional wrestler than Logan Paul.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, no, I didn't say argument. I said discourse.
You know what would have been awesome if SmackDown got Bad Bunny in this LWO pick.
He should have. He's an honorary.
They should have got Carlito,
Savio. They should have got Savio Vega.
Yeah, they should have got everybody.
Just a whole fucking picture of like 12 people there. Conan back there somewhere. Even though it doesn't work here. LWO pick is fine. You got a bunch of young dudes in there. Got a Hall of Famer. Got somebody for the women's division. Like this all makes sense to me. I'm gonna give that one a B+.
Yeah, I'll give that a B+ too. I'll agree with you on that one just because I like the pick. I wish I can't really say that I would pick it over anything else that was picked already either. Maybe the Usos, if we're talking about the whole tag team thing where you could get somebody late. If you already have one involved in the stable, that would help greatly. Like if the Bloodline
probably would have gone New Day.
If the Bloodline was all one pick, then obviously the Usos would have been picked there at number 1 would have made way more sense than having them split up from the rest of the Bloodline too. So if we're talking about Rhea Ripley being split up from Judgment Day, then the Usos being split up from the Bloodline also makes 0 sense.
I would have gone probably New Day here, and it's not that I have a problem with the LWO pick. That's why I gave it a B+. But the only good thing about the LWO pick is that it covers a lot of bases in one pick. But as far as the actual talent involved or what they've done and things like that, you got Ray, who's pretty much on his way out. Zelina, who hasn't ever really been near or at the top of her division, and then young guys who you still have to build up. So it's like a prospect pick. Like you think you might be able to do something with the 3 guys that are going to be around long term, but one guy's already on his way out and the other one is kind of stuck.
Can I ask you a question, like an actual honest question? You don't think Kofi's on his way out?
No, probably not. I think the way that Kofi works, he could probably stay around for a long time, especially being in tags all the time. I don't know that he's going to have another singles run or anything crazy like that, but when you work tags like in 3-mans and stuff like that, your longevity is a lot higher.
Well, even though we already assuming that Big E would just go to whatever brand the New Day is on, kayfabe wise, right? That would make sense. Well, not even kayfabe, just in real life backstage, it would make too much sense, right? For them not to add Big E into the group when they drafted the New Day makes also no sense.
Maybe they don't know if he's coming back.
That's true, but you could still have him in a manager role too, though. He would be perfect for that if he wasn't able to come back. And the other thing is that if you watched Backlash, he had 2 or 3 fucking of the same commercial with Bobby Lashley, so we all know he's there with the DraftKings fucking thing.
Yeah.
So why not just involve him in the graphic?
And the other thing is too, even if he can't come back and wrestle, if you do have him as a manager who's like bigger than his two wrestlers, that's kind of funny too, because you could just have him like as a heater manager on the outside who doesn't have to take bumps. He can just fucking clothesline somebody.
Yeah, a lot of
And
people
the-
get mad about like the old heads talk about some. Oh yeah, I don't like it when the manager's bigger because they had the same thing with DDP back in the day when he was a manager. Oh, DDP, he's bigger than the guy. Who cares? Wouldn't you want a guy bigger than you to help you out?
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand that discourse at all. Like, okay, when Shawn Michaels came out with Diesel and fucking Sid, did anybody have a problem with that? No, that made sense.
That's because he was a cowardly heel.
New Day could be that if they ever turned heel.
Yeah. I think it'd be hard to turn them heel with all the shit they sell, though.
All right, so what do you give? Okay, so we got B+ for LWO. What do we give Judgment Day?
I already said C.
Oh, you gave it a C? Oh god. What do I want to give it? Do I want to agree with that? I kind of want to agree with that just because Finn Balor, and I'm not even a huge Damian Priest fan, but I do believe that he could easily be multi-time IC champ. With his performance last night, I thought he did a really fucking good job. Just not even just wrestling, just the selling.
Yeah, his psychology was really good.
Dude,
too.
yeah, like the whole match was set up great and they fucking killed it. I don't know if it's because he just trusted Bad Bunny more than he trusts the other people he's going against, or if it's a time thing because he doesn't usually get a lot of time in his matches. I don't know what it is. Could be a combination of those things. But he definitely gave some vibes where it's like, okay, yeah, we can give him a little bit of a little leash and let him do his own thing and that he could run with it. So I'll agree with you. I'd say C. Still not a huge fan of Dominic. I think the discourse about Dominic being like this super over heel on social media is fucking asinine. Is he better heel than MJF? No, he's not. He's not. He's not. He's not even a better heel than Randy Orton. He's not even the best heel in their own company. So
Randy Orton ain't there right now.
I don't agree. Yeah, I know, and he's still not better than him. So no, I won't say it's go away heat, but it is like, because it's not like Baron Corbin go away heat or Vicky Guerrero go away heat, even though it's Vicky Guerrero. It's more like Roman Reigns, that shit where every time he's trying to talk and they boo him so much that he can't fucking talk. Which is closer to Vicky Guerrero, but it's more close to like Roman after he beat Undertaker at WrestleMania. But no, yeah. I'm not falling for that. Like that bait that they try to post up every now and then on social media. I'm not falling for it. No, he's not a better heel than MJF. He's not a better heel than Jericho. He's not a better heel than Christian. He's not a better heel than Randy Orton. He's just not. Can he get there? Maybe. I don't know. The one drawback about Damian, though, is even though that match went really fucking good, he needs somebody that can talk for him because he sucks on the mic. Bad.
His cadence is awkward when he talks. That's what it is.
He stumbles over his words a lot. Like
Yeah.
he's thinking too much. I feel like he's thinking too much about what he's gonna say, and then he stumbles over, and then once he stumbles the first time, it's like, oh fuck, he's never gonna get back on track. That's his issue.
it is. I'm sure it's hard in a big crowd and all that, so you understand it, but it's like
Yeah, not everybody's gonna be comfortable
but everybody
with
else
public
is
speaking,
cutting in the same crowd.
Yeah, for sure. No, I'm not blaming him. I'm just saying he
Yeah, it's
would
just
need to work on
relative.
it if he didn't have a Heyman or just a manager in general. We always say Heyman because he's
Yeah.
like only fucking one in WWE. But if he didn't have somebody to talk for him,
MVP.
oh yeah. But MVP's not. Everybody hails the MVP as some great fucking talk. MVP has never talked me into a match in my life. Just so you
He
know.
talked me into that. He talked me into that fucking Omos Lesnar
Man,
one.
I will fucking literally mute you right now. Shout out to
Good
Omos
match.
and Seth though. I thought the match was way better than it should have been.
It was
All right, so
it was a good
C.
match.
C for Judgment Day's pick, B+ for LWO. Let's get to the next round here. Round 5. Round 5, speaking of titles, the Raw, or not even the Raw. Raw did pick them. Raw picked the women's tag champions, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. And Asuka went to SmackDown, which I love that for her because she needs a fresh start after they botched that fucking loss at WrestleMania with Bianca. All right. So, this is kind of in the same category that we were talking about before, right? With the tag titles, for instance, we do know that they're unified. Okay? We do know that they're going to be defended across both brands, or that we assume so, unless they're going to take those NXT titles and make them a second fucking title that SmackDown got with Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, right? So, you also have what we were talking about kind of with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, where Liv Morgan and Raquel, they're not really a tag team. So once they lose these tag titles, they're going to probably split the fuck off and be in the singles division. So even though Asuka is by far still the better pick, even though you got 2 for 1 and the titles, Asuka's still the better pick in my eyes. But do you still, or would you like to pick better if, let's say, SmackDown picked first and they picked Asuka, and then you didn't have Asuka on the board, and then you pick these? Doesn't it make it look a little dumber for them to pick Liv and Raquel first when they had Asuka sitting there in front of them?
I mean, it makes it look dumb for picking this one with a lot of the picks that were still up on the board. I'm giving that a D. That's a terrible pick. There is no fucking women's tag division.
Well, there will be now.
No, there won't.
No, I'm not saying. No. There's a difference. There being a division and the division actually showing up on TV are two different things. There was a 205 cruiserweight division too, but there wasn't really.
It was on main event.
Exactly.
Why do you hate on main event?
Thank you for making my point for me, dude.
Why do you hate on main event?
Main event? What the fuck? Dude, I will slap the shit out of you right now. You do not watch fucking main event. Shut up.
I watch main event every day.
No. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. It's like Sports Center. It's on literally every day. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But main event is a 5-day-a-week thing.
Ones.
You know why you're watching it every day? Because you're fucking catching up from fucking 5 years of not watching it.
I go back and watch the old ones again. Every week I watch main event.
Anyway, so you gave it a D. I'll give it a D plus. Just because I'll give it a D plus. I agree with you that it's a dumb pick because you picked first, you didn't get Asuka, but I got to give you a little credit because you got the titles out the gate and you got Liv and Raquel to go off into your division that was already kind of like it before.
Fucking exist. You got titles for a division that doesn't exist. Who gives a shit?
But I can say the same thing about the fucking Owens and Zayn pick with the Usos. I said the same shit. If you could literally just say, I could literally just pick tag teams out in the supplemental draft, just 2 random dudes and put them together.
No. But there are actual tag teams. Like you got the Brawling Brutes.
No, I agree that there's actual tag teams, but all the actual tag teams. Okay, so how about this then? Would you rather have, and not in this round per se, but an actual tag team, quote unquote? You got Rousey and Shayna sitting there at round 8 that got picked. Would that be higher than a D for you if they pick them?
If they pick them in this round?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can split them up and still have 2 singles people that are actually
but they're closer to a tag team than these two.
As opposed to fucking Raquel, whose entire gimmick is, yeah, I've got a back. And then, like, Liv, who hasn't done shit since losing the belt and crying in the ring. Like, this is not
to
a good
Rousey,
pick.
By the way.
Yeah. This is fucking stupid. I would never pick this. There's no women's tag division. There's no benefit in picking the women's tag champions. They should 100%.
Have you ever felt that there was a women's tag division? Ever? Bayley and Sasha, Iconics.
No, Iconics, maybe. When Iconics era, maybe. But even then, it wasn't like a deep division or anything. There was like 3 fucking teams.
Well, Bayley and Sasha are part of that. I'm not talking about their second run. I'm talking about their first run. When they lost it to the Iconics.
Yeah, so it's like 3 fucking teams. Yeah, that's when there was a tag division. Now you have nothing.
Okay, so what do we... A plus for Asuka then, right?
Yeah, of course.
A plus and D plus. So SmackDown, they just took the lead right here.
Easy.
For sure. I mean, they took the lead overall because it was like splitting hairs at first. Raw was slightly a bit ahead rather, and now boom, it's over. Like they're down. So we give A plus to the Asuka pick, D plus to the Liv and Raquel pick in round 5. And I'll throw something else at you because even though they picked them in this next round, which we're gonna do right now, why wouldn't you have picked the goddamn New Day instead of Raquel and Liv in that last round? So here we go. Round 6. Raw got New Day. And another reason I don't understand is because if you were going to do this and have the Brawling fucking Brutes anyway, 3, why wouldn't you cross them from 3 with Big E's picture in this fucking thing? Why is Big E not included in the fucking New Day?
He might not be wrestling ever again.
Who cares? Trish Stratus ain't gonna be wrestling after she finally gets her match with fucking Becky Lynch, and she was picked high as fuck on night 1.
They care about false advertisement.
I don't care for fuck.
They don't care about false advertisement.
I don't care. Put his fucking picture up there.
Maybe he got drafted separately in the supplemental draft that we don't know about until we read about on Twitter.
Maybe he got picked by DraftKings.
Yeah. Maybe.
Jesus
ad
Christ,
came on so many
man.
times.
I'm throwing Big E up there. I don't give a fuck. I should have just put him in there myself. I don't even care.
Yeah.
So with the notion that Big E is in this, because there's no way that you would split them up if he comes back, because people will just murder you online, right? Let's do. I'm gonna give it an A. What do you give it for the New Day?
Oh yeah, as an A.
For the 6th round, dude? Yeah, A. Easy. Now, I'm high on Pete Dunne. You can call him Butch if you want to. I will not. I'm high on Pete Dunne. I'm obviously high on Sheamus. I still don't really know anything about Ridge Holland, so besides the fact that he's the guy that broke Big E's neck. So, anyway, don't start. He broke his neck.
On purpose.
Shouldn't even done the goddamn move.
That's true.
Okay. It's true. So he broke his neck.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I hate him. I don't hate fucking Taz for breaking Sabu's neck. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't have a problem with it. I just don't know that much about him to have an opinion one way or the other. One way or the other. He was kind of pushed. He was probably kind of pushed out the gate in NXT when he was having that shit with Adam Cole in the Undisputed Era and stuff.
It's not fair to say that he broke Big E's neck unless you're also going to say that Rey Mysterio killed a guy.
That's not even close to the same thing, dude.
It's kind of the same.
No, it's not. No,
Yeah,
it's
kind of the same
not.
thing.
That's
Yeah.
not close.
All right.
Taz broke down why Ridge Holland fucked that up. Now, was it a freak accident? Probably. I'm not blaming the dude for doing it. I'm just saying that's what his claim to fame is currently. Okay?
I mean, I know why he fucked it up too. You could watch it. He held on too
Yeah,
long
no
and
shit.
Big
I'm
E
just
wasn't
saying,
able to
I'm
rotate.
not saying that I hate him for it. He fucked up. But I'm not going to sit here and say that's...
his neck.
What has he done since? What has he done ever? That's what he's known for.
He stands around in the background.
Come on, man. Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy.
Brawling Brutes. He's
For
a
his
brawling
fucking
brutes.
WrestleMania Goes Hollywood again fucking thing where he got his chest waxed. Other than that, and breaking Big E's neck, that's all he's known for. And I should say necks, because Big E's a big, thick motherfucker, so he probably has more than one neck.
He got 2 necks.
So Sheamus is good to go. Pete Dunne is good to go if they fucking let him be Pete Dunne. Ridge Holland, don't know anything about him. But with the New Day, dude, I know all of them. Former 11-time tag team champions. 2 of them are former world champions. Xavier Woods, former King of the Ring. A for that. I don't know where I would go, but it's definitely in the B range for the Brawling Brutes.
Yeah, I'll do A on the New Day. With what's left, man, I think Brawling Brutes is probably an A as well. Because you just have to consider what else is left to pick from. And really the only other viable pick at this point pretty much is going to be like your LA Knight. Like that's... I don't know. I'm not really seeing anything else where I'm like, yeah, it makes sense to pick that over Brawling Brutes. So I'm gonna give that an A too.
All right, if you're gonna give it
within
an
the
A,
context of what's left in the pool.
yeah, I'll give it a. Yeah, I'll give it a. You're gonna give it an A. I want to give it a B. So I'll go B
minus.
plus. I'll go closer to you.
Wow.
Oh, that's the wrong one. My bad.
That's not close.
I did that. I knew I was gonna do that at least once. B plus.
A minus. A minus would be closer.
No.
To me. That would literally be closer to me. Yes.
Okay, well B minus.
Well, no.
So I'll go
because
to B plus.
It's further away.
It's getting a B plus, dude. No. All right, so B plus for them.
You just don't want to pull up the other graphic. That's fine.
It'll be all right. Let's get that back off of there. Round 7. All right, this is where Trish got picked by Raw, which makes no sense at all to even pick her because you know she's only there for one match and then she's gone again. Pointless. Pointless pick.
You don't know how long she's gonna be back for.
Pointless pick. And then
Uh,
speaking of pointless, Karrion Kross, who I've never been a huge fan of or got the hype ever. I've never understood the hype for him. And then now I see a lot of discourse that are talking about some, I'm not really into Karrion Kross's character. I don't know what they're doing with him. I don't understand the hype. Bitch, I've been saying this for 2 years. On this show. 2 years I've been saying this. Now y'all are finally understanding? It's literally Mark Marrow and Sable. The focus is on Scarlett. Karrion Kross has done nothing. Nothing since getting called up from NXT. Twice, I guess you could say. He's been signed twice and has done nothing.
Yeah. Well,
This is a bad round altogether.
It's not like he gets to pick what he does.
No, I'm doing that. Well, no, whoa. I understand that. No. Fuck this. So, no. He doesn't get to pick what he does. He did in NXT. I didn't understand the hype in NXT. He had chances to shine in NXT. He did not wow me in any way.
Well, you don't like when he goes TikTok? That's pretty cool. You don't like when the camera changes color?
Man, I swear to God,
TikTok.
dude. Everybody. By the way, also, as a fan of rock music, and everybody thought his entrance was so cool in NXT, I thought it was hokey as fuck.
I don't remember it.
It's when Scarlett came out lip syncing.
Okay. I mean, I remember her coming out lip syncing, but I don't remember what the song is.
Okay.
I'm gonna give this whole round just double D's because this is just not good on either one.
Oh, so goes right with Scarlett and Trish. Good job. I like your style.
No titty joke.
I'll give it a double D's as well. Boom! And boom! I agree. And in fact, you know what? No. I mean, I'll give it D's. I'll give it a... SmackDown gets a D minus. Because...
Why?
Because at least Trish is in the fucking Hall of Fame. These two aren't going to be there.
Karrion Kross will be. One day.
Based off of his NXT accomplishments?
His future accomplishments. I've read a lot of interviews with him where he says that we don't.
I'm gonna lose it on the show, and we haven't even got to the actual. This is just
we
the
haven't
draft
seen what he's
show.
capable of.
I'm not gonna make it to the actual show with this shit you're spewing.
You don't know what he's gonna do when the TikTok is done.
Yeah, he's gonna leave and go back to MLW. That's what he's gonna do.
When the TikToking of the clock.
Or he's gonna go control his own narrative again.
Hits the. I don't think that's around anymore.
He'll have to start it himself. He can go to NWA with EC3.
Yeah.
Control your own NWA. That's what they call it now. They combined it.
Does Scarlett wrestle?
Huh?
Does Scarlett wrestle?
She has wrestled, yes. And she has wrestled on SmackDown before, I believe, as well.
So you're not giving them any credit for having 2 picks in 2 different divisions?
Fuck no! What the fuck? No! Okay. She wrestled one time. I'm giving him the credit for 2 superstars? No, I'm not.
Yeah! How many times has Trish wrestled in the last fucking year?
More than both of these two.
That's not true.
On TV?
Yeah, on TV.
Are we including pay-per-view though?
Both.
Dude, Karrion Kross, man, she's got more wins than both of them. How about that, motherfucker? She's got more wins than both of them.
I actually don't think that's true.
Oh, it's true. It's damn true. This is where I need to get my sounds board set up. It's damn true. Kurt Angle sound right now.
Nobody likes him.
You are out of your mind if you think Trish Stratus has less wins than Karrion Kross on TV and pay-per-view in the last year. You go ahead and look that up all you want to.
Karrion Kross beat Rey Mysterio on February 24th. And him and Scarlett beat Emma and Madcap Moss on January 6th. That's 2.
Okay, now look at Trish's. For the last year, look at Trish's. Because Trish won at WrestleMania. That's 1 already. All we gotta do is find 1 fucking more, dude.
Yeah, but she hasn't been wrestling.
Excuse me?
She lost the match with Becky.
She hasn't even had the match with Becky yet. Oh, you're talking about the tag title match?
And the last year she's had 2 matches and lost 1, so I was right. Get fucked.
No, I disagree.
I don't care if you disagree. She's had 2 fucking matches.
I disagree. I'm pretty sure she had another Raw match and won.
No, I'm looking at her fucking cage match thing right now, okay? Her last match was losing, or before she came back, was losing to Charlotte in 2019. Her
that was
first
Evolution,
match
right?
No,
or Revolution, whatever.
SummerSlam. So.
Oh, was it SummerSlam? Oh shit. Okay, cool.
So, WrestleMania 39 was her first match back, which she won. And then her only match since then was the one on Raw where her and Becky lost the titles. So no, she hasn't won more matches than Karrion Kross.
Well, she will, though.
And she hasn't even won more matches than Scarlett. Truth hurts. Better wrestlers.
Wait. Scarlett had the one match, right? Did you look up hers too?
I know she's won at least one match, so she hasn't. So what I said was she hasn't won more, which is true.
Are we sure she won the match?
Yeah, her and Karrion beat Emma and Madcap.
Oh, yeah, okay, the mixed tag. Okay, I'm thinking singles matches, my bad. Yeah, she's had at least one singles match, though, is what I'm saying. I just can't remember if she won.
Within the last year, not for WWE, but she also won on MLW.
Okay. Yeah. I thought she fought like Zelina or some shit one-on-one.
Not that's in cage match. So I don't think so.
Okay.
They would probably have it.
All right, so we got to give grades for this. Oh, we did. My bad.
We did.
Double D's. D and then a D minus. All right, so that's round 7. Round 8. Now we're cooking. Why couldn't this be in round 7? Why the fuck? All right, so Raw gets a tag team and 2 singles wrestlers and a draw.
So off-centered.
Because Shayna's arm got cut off and it would have looked dumb in the middle of the picture. All right, so Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler, as you can see there, the new Powers of Pain, got picked for Raw. And then LA Knight, my boy, who has no fucking accolades on his draft card at all. Just LA Knight, baby. Should have been the number 1 pick on night 2. Fucking LA Knight right there. I'm giving that an A+, and you can't stop me. You got LA Knight in round 8, A+. Now let's talk about the Raw one, though.
His
what would you give this pick?
Should have just said his accolades card should have just said yeah.
That would have been fucking hilarious. Same thing with Pretty Deadly. They should have said yes, boy.
These are
in
both
fact,
fine.
let's create a new stable right now with LA Knight and Pretty Deadly, and every time Pretty Deadly or every time LA Knight says yeah, they say yes, boy, right after him. That'd be fucking a great stable.
I don't know if you could build a whole stable around that, but
oh yes, you definitely could.
I'll give an A to the LA Knight pick. That makes sense to me. It's a good pick for being this late, and he's one of the few good things left. And sort of the same conversation I was having earlier with the Liv and Raquel pick. Like, I think that you could make a case that Ronda and Shayna should have been picked before them, even despite them being champions. So,
okay, but in a vacuum, because they got picked so late, and what's left after them, this is actually not that bad of a pick, though.
That's why I'm giving it an A.
Yeah, this is a good fucking pick. No, I agree with you. That's what I'm saying. Because a lot of people might not understand what you're talking about. But yes, I would definitely consider them over Liv and Raquel earlier on. When you look at the women that were picked after, you have Katana and Kaden, which is another tag team, and of course Shotzi in the next round. And you're definitely picking these two over those. So for the value at round 8 on night 2, that's really good. But I'm not going to put it up there with LA Knight. So I agree with you. We'll give it a solid A instead of A+, because LA Knight, is fucking awesome. Awesome pick to get that late for SmackDown. The only bad part is, of course, he's on SmackDown, and fucking Roman is sitting there. But I do have high hopes that he could possibly take that fucking title off of Austin Theory, which would be awesome. Because this is the time. They could turn LA Knight face big time. If that's what they're waiting on, and now you have Austin Theory over there, and he's already beaten fucking Bobby Lashley back and forth a million times, and you want to give him somebody new undercard because Roman's tied up with whatever the fuck he's got going on, and LA Knight clearly is not going to beat him. LA Knight getting that U.S. title off of Austin Theory would be a great way to go.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to round 9 here. Round 9, we've got Ricochet and Braun Strowman drafted to Raw, and then Shotzi drafted to SmackDown. Shotzi, another no accolades on her fucking draft card. SmackDown going deep in the draft here. And of course, Ricochet and Braun Strowman. Ricochet is a former Intercontinental and United States champion and a former loser to Brock Lesnar. And then, of course, Braun is former WWE Universal Champion and former loser to Brock Lesnar with the 2-piece. So they've been a tag team for a while, right? So I don't hate this pick, especially round 9. Okay, don't hate the pick. Shotzi, I would have picked Katana and Kaden over Shotzi if you're looking at who's left in the draft pool. And you and I and everybody else that watch this fucking thing, when they say select superstars from NXT and then like 18 fucking people from NXT got drafted, who the fuck wasn't in the draft pool? Just Carmelo Hayes and Braun Breaker?
Yeah.
That's
They
dumb.
They got to move up their football players. You know?
Fuck, dude, that's so stupid. But I would have picked Kaden and Katana. I would have picked over Shotzi, in this round. Like if Shotzi was still there in round 12, I would have got her. Obviously,
if
like
they're
you said,
trying
I
to
don't really know
build
the
a
rest of the
women's
pool
division.
either, though. I feel like this is kind of high for Shotzi, who hasn't been doing anything on the main roster either. Especially when you got Bronson Reed and Pretty Deadly in the next round. Both of those I would have picked over Shotzi as well.
I would have picked Alpha Academy over Shotzi too. So, yeah, I'll go with just for what's left. I'll go with a B- on the Ricochet and Braun pick. Obviously, they're trying to build a tag division there. They've picked some other tag teams. It kind of makes sense. Whatever. They picked up New Day. They picked up the champion, so it makes sense. Shotzi C-. I think there's better picks, but it's not like egregiously bad.
I'll agree with both of those. C- isn't that bad of a... I mean, C- it's a bad pick, but it could have been worse because pretty much anything higher than this, we would have been in F+, F- territory, right?
Yeah.
Where
for
you
as-
got her
as
at,
late
I
as it
can't...
is and what's
It's
left,
round
it's
9
fine.
on night 2, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not...
Yeah.
Not that bad, but like when you see still who's left, it still wasn't even like the top 4 pick. She's still not in the top 4 pick of who's left, and that's no fault of her own. That's just kayfabe. If
the logic is we're trying to build a women's division, you would pick the pick that's 2 more fucking women. You wouldn't pick Shotzi.
exactly. Especially when you got they would be in the division at least at the start that you could still steal the title from the other brand.
Right. Yep.
Okay. So I agree with that one. C- and a B for Raw and SmackDown. Raw is back in the lead, I think, here. We're going to go to round 10, though. Round 10, this is a good round here. This round should have been the previous round. So you've got Raw picking Bronson Reed, who we're both a big fan of, right? And then you've got Pretty Deadly, who I love. Pretty Deadly. Had to get the UK title picture in there because the UK titles were all cool as fuck. Former 2-time NXT tag team champions as well. Elton Prince and Kit Wilson, in case you didn't know their names, that was on their draft card because they didn't have anything else really to go up there. Former NXT North American champion for Bronson Reed, and they put a signature move up there in case you didn't know anything else about him, the Tsunami, which is the big splash from the top rope. All right, so I like both of these picks, and I'll be real with you. I'm thinking I like the Pretty Deadly one slightly more. I think they're very close. But if I'm splitting hairs, I'm liking Pretty Deadly just because it's on SmackDown. I think that's a good fit for them.
Yeah. I don't know why the one guy looks like The Witcher, but good for him. I think both these picks are fine. Bronson Reed. Just looking at their other picks, I'm not sure what their plan is with him, really. Because if you look through their other picks, it's like a lot of tag teams, a lot of stables. The only other singles that they really picked up was Seth Rollins. And it just, I don't know what they're doing with that, as far as this night, anyway. I don't know what they're going to do with him, where they're going to try to put him. I don't think he's going to be a challenger for Gunther or anything like that. If he had ended up on the brand with Theory, I could see him being a challenger for the U.S. title. But then when they had this draft and then they put him in that triple threat, I was like, well, there's no fucking way now he's going to win because, like, you're not going to switch the U.S. title to the same brand that has Gunther already with the Intercontinental. But I thought he would fit in really good in the U.S. title picture, and then they just did this. So I don't know about this pick. I like him, but he's definitely not what he was when he was in New Japan as Jonah. So not sure what the plan is. I'm going to give this like a, just based on who's left, probably like a B-. I mean, if I'm Raw and I've already picked all these other stables and tag teams and last round just picked like Ricochet and Braun and have New Day and all that stuff, I would probably just go with fucking Alpha Academy for my next pick and just build up my tag division more. So not sure on the Bronson Reed thing. And then Pretty Deadly.
I'll give that one a B. I'll bump it up to a B because I like Bronson Reed. I think I think he won't get lost in the shuffle as bad on Raw either because you moved Bobby Lashley and Austin Theory over to SmackDown. Roman's the champion over there. I think Bronson Reed could actually do something on Raw.
Yeah, maybe. And then Pretty Deadly. Like I don't think anybody really doesn't like them. They're going to be an asset to any tag division. They're entertaining. They do have the Viking Raiders problem of casual audiences not really knowing which one is which and what their names are and shit that they're gonna probably have to get over. Like they have to make separate personalities for themselves in some distinct way at some point, or otherwise they're gonna have the same sort of issue with not really ever getting over. Like in a big way. Obviously people like them, but it's not the same. And you see that sort of with like even tag teams like FTR and stuff too. Like back when nobody really knew which one was which or whatever, it was harder for them to get over. You didn't really see them as individual personalities or anything like that. So yeah, I think if they can get past that hump, show some more distinct characters between the two of them, make it so that you know which one is which more, then yeah, I think they'll do fine there. I think it's a pretty good pick. I'm going to give this one
just so everybody knows, Elton Prince is the one with the white hair.
Yeah, Prince.
And Kit Wilson
it's easy to remember.
Like, I'm not saying Ryan doesn't know. I'm just pointing it out for in case somebody doesn't know.
Elton Prince is easy to remember. You just remember like a cartoon prince has white hair. There you go, easy. But yeah, I would probably give this one like a B plus. I think this pick is good. I think it adds, something interesting to the show. So we'll say that.
All right, I'm gonna bump both of them up. I bumped up your B minus to a B, and I'm gonna bump up the what'd you say this one? B plus. I'm gonna bump that one up to an A. So I like both of them pretty much as you do. The same gap in between both, but I really do like the Pretty Deadly pick. I think it is their time. It is time for them to get called up. It's one of the few call ups that they did that I'm like, yeah, they're ready. They can get called up and they'll fit right in with the tag division, assuming Triple H is allowed to book tag team matches. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. As long as Vince allows him to have a tag team division, they'll fit right in, especially on SmackDown. I think they'll do good. So I really like that fucking pick. Okay. So A for SmackDown, B for Raw. I still feel like Raw is in the well, it's a lot closer now actually because Raw got fucking hammered on that Asuka one.
Yeah.
All right, so give me a second, Raw. Get that off of there.
You should have a point system.
Yeah, I should. Maybe I'll do that next time instead of using grades. Next year I'll use points or whatever, and we'll add.
You still use grades, but you just assign a number to every grade.
Yeah, but then it would just be easier to do the numbers.
Maybe I don't know. I think it's hard to think of.
Speaking of grades, Alpha Academy. Here we
Yeah,
go.
baby.
There you go. Raw picked him. And SmackDown got Rick Boogs, who I used to be a huge fan of. When he had the long hair in NXT, I thought he was fucking hilarious. He had some good social media videos and stuff, and they kind of fucked him up. I don't know why they either asked him to cut his hair or he cut his hair because he looks like just another dude now. It's weird. I really wish he would grow his fucking hair back out because he had like the old school 80s type deal. It was almost like they made him cut it because they gave his gimmick to Ezekiel. That's what I feel like. So like he was rocking all the like the 80s stuff with the frills and the fucking tassels, and he had the long hair and going fucking nuts constantly, and then magically fucking cut his hair. And I was like, what the fuck is this? I really do think they already fucked him up just visually.
You say he looks like another dude, but he looks like another Rude.
No, hilarious.
Thank you. He does
so
though.
Alpha,
he kind of looks like fucking Rick Rude.
I guess. Looks more like a swollen up Bobby Roode, honestly.
Okay.
But anyway, we'll start with the Raw draft pick first. Alpha Academy, former Raw Tag Team Champions, as you can see there, they're holding them. They haven't really done much to date. They had a really good showcase match at WrestleMania when Chad Gable showed out, as he does every now and then. But what do you think of the pick? Keep in mind, we've only got one more round after this. This is round 11. The pool that they were in, where they got picked. What do you like? Do you like this pick?
For what was left, and for the fact that it looks like they're trying to build a tag division over there, kind of like we were talking about earlier. Like they picked Ricochet and Braun. They picked the New Day. They picked Judgment Day up so you could do a tag team out of them. They picked up Owens and Zayn. Like, it just makes sense for them to pick another tag team if that's the division they're trying to build. So I was fine with this. I think it's an A.
All right, so yeah, I like the pick better than the Rick Boogs pick. I'm actually gonna go for the Raw pick. I'm gonna give it a B. I'll give it a B, and then for the SmackDown pick, I'm gonna give it a D.
I'm gonna give it a C.
All right,
because
so
because
or C minus. I'll give it a C minus then. All right, go ahead.
Elias is still there, and Elias does everything Boogs does but better. So why the fuck would you pick up Boogs? I don't have a problem with him, but if I'm trying to build a brand, I'm going to pick the established guy that I know can perform. And
Why didn't they put them in a tag team together? Why didn't they make it? Why didn't they make them together like they did Alpha Academy? Like, why was Elias not in the pool with Rick Boogs?
I mean, they haven't tagged that much.
I get, but they're involved so much storyline wise, and they're supposedly friends or whatever, and then you could just guarantee to people that you're carrying on that storyline on whatever the fuck brand they get picked on. It's literally no reason not to include Elias with the Rick Boogs thing. Like, I don't understand. And it also would have made a little bit more sense for the audience viewing it, like exactly like what you said. Why the hell would I pick Rick Boogs over Elias?
Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna give it a C. I don't think it makes sense to pick him over Elias.
I'll give it C minus for that one, a B for Alpha Academy. And we go to the last round, round 12 coming up. Round 12 was Raw picking Katana Chance and Kaden Carter, former NXT Women's Tag Team Champions, and they were obviously the longest Women's Tag Team champions in NXT history, which, believe it or not, they book their Women's Tag Team division better than the main roster. And then, of course, over on SmackDown, my boy Cameron Grimes to the moon, baby, got drafted. Very hyped for him. He's on the same level to me as like an LA Knight. I'm huge fans of Cameron Grimes and LA Knight. I'm hoping big things from both of them. And I do like that they're both on the same brand. I think that's going to be cool. I think they could have some good matches together. They've already got Cameron Grimes going to have a match with Baron Corbin coming up.
Well, that's
cool. So they already put him in a storyline. That's awesome.
You mentioned Baron Corbin, and that's the first thing that came to mind. Is like Baron Corbin was in this pool. I would pick Baron Corbin a million fucking times before I pick Cameron Grimes. I would also pick Elias over Cameron Grimes.
Oh, no, I disagree on both of those.
That's because you're a fucking Cameron Grimes fan, but he doesn't do much for me.
Come on, dude. You can't say that on the show.
I just did.
You can't say that on the show.
He doesn't do much for me.
This Baron Corbin gimmick that he's been running for the last 2 years is hot trash.
Yeah. So?
Then I'm not picking Baron Corbin over Cameron Grimes.
Okay. Also, there was still the Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander team for Raw to pick since they're building tag team divisions out, and I probably would have picked them over this team too.
Now that's something we can discuss because SmackDown hadn't been picking tag teams in a few rounds. So the last tag team that they picked, I guess technically you could include the Brawling Brutes. That was all the way back in round 6. We're in round 12, so 6 rounds without a tag team for the men's side. Oh no, wait, my bad. They picked Pretty Deadly.
Yeah, well, they also have the LWO and stuff too, which has a tag team in it. So I think their tag division is too weak to waste a pick on Cameron Grimes.
Wait a minute. In this night alone, they have the Usos, the LWO, the Brawling Brutes,
and then Pretty Deadly.
That's 4 quality tag teams in the same night.
Yeah.
You got to build a singles division underneath fucking Roman because Roman's never going to be there. So you're trying to build a US title division here with Austin Theory, honestly.
This is just me being a Cameron Grimes hater, I guess, but I don't.
Why are you a Cameron Grimes hater? I don't even understand that.
It's not that I don't like him. I'm not entertained by him. I don't know what to tell you.
How can you not be entertained by Cameron fucking Grimes, dude?
I'm just not, bro. What do you want to tell you?
You got a rude awakening coming to you on SmackDown. I promise you. I promise you. He's gonna be up there with LA Knight for you soon. I promise you.
He will not.
He will. He's good.
I've seen him.
You're crazy, dude. You're crazy. Okay, so let's talk about the Raw draft pick then. Katana Chance and Kaden Carter going to Raw in the final round. Like I said, former NXT Women's Tag Team Champions, the longest reigning ones in the NXT history. I mean, they've been in NXT for a long time as a tag team.
Yeah.
And for those of you who don't know, I love me some Kaden Carter.
Okay. Well, calm down. Just looking at the other people that they picked in the different rounds, like I don't know if it's just me or what, but you've already got you've got the women's tag champions on Raw. So it kind of makes sense to pick another women's tag team if you're trying to build a division, like if you're trying to make a women's tag team division, even though it doesn't fucking exist. And then they also picked up Rousey and Shayna. So, like, in one sense, it does make sense for them to pick them. So I don't hate it. If the goal is to build a women's tag division, it's a fine pick. So I won't hate on it.
With the last pick, yeah, I don't hate it either. But here's the thing, is that it does exist. They just don't use them. This is probably, after this draft takes place on Raw tomorrow night, this will be the closest they've ever had to an actual women's tag team division. The problem is, are they going to treat it as such? That's the issue.
They probably won't.
No, I agree with you that they won't. I 100% agree with you that they won't. But they have the pieces there. That's the problem. And that's what's going to piss everybody off, is because you have the pieces there and you're still not going to do it.
Yeah, they have 4 teams, bro. That's not going to work.
That's why I always thought that they should have just combined the NXT women's tag titles with the main roster ones anyway and let them compete across all brands. When they created the NXT women's tag titles and gave them to fucking Raquel and Dakota, it made zero sense. Like, why? You already had the main roster champions go down there to defend them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I hate that they created the new ones in the first place, but then I hate it even more because they did a better job with 2 hours of TV every week with the women's NXT tag team division than you did on the main roster that goes back and forth between 2 fucking brands.
Yeah. Well, I think we've both been saying that for a while, is that they should merge all 3 of those sets of women's tag teams and just defend them across everything. Because, I mean, it's not like they haven't been defended in NXT, the main roster ones. So, I mean, I'm fine with that. Yeah, I'm not going to hate on this pick too much, because if that's what they're trying to do, then fine. I still think I probably would have gone with something else. But,
Cedric and Shelton.
Cedric and Shelton, yeah, most likely, since they built out so much of a tag division and you've got the tag champions. Or Los Lotharios, like you'd mentioned earlier. Like,
yeah, for sure. I love that tag team.
Yeah. So I'll give this one like a B, just because I kind of see the intent, but it's not really what I would be focused on.
I really can't hate on anything in round 12 at this point, right? If you think about it.
Cameron Grimes.
Dude, I swear to God.
I'm going to give a D+.
Hell, what the? No.
Because Elias is still available. Baron Corbin's
Elias
still available.
is not a better wrestler than Cameron Grimes.
Johnny Gargano's still available.
Holy shit.
I don't even like Johnny Gargano.
You don't
Grayson
like yourself because you don't like Cameron Grimes.
Grayson Waller is still available, and you think you think Grimes should have gotten picked over fucking Grayson Waller?
He got picked in the supplemental draft, I believe, afterwards.
He did, but that's what I'm saying. Like, he could have picked him before, and he picked up Grimes in the fucking supplemental draft.
I don't like Grayson Waller. You think I like Australian Austin Theory more than Cameron Grimes? No, I'm good.
Do you think he's a better wrestler?
No.
Okay.
I think he's better than Austin Theory. I'd prefer to watch him. I think he's more entertaining on the mic than Austin Theory as well, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, it's pretty much the same fucking gimmick.
Okay.
The Grayson Waller effect. That literally is nothing, by the way.
D+. Cameron Grimes.
Whoa. Well, we're going higher than that.
Well, yeah, after you
I'll give it a... Well... See, I don't even want to give it fucking... See, I agreed with you on the Katana Chance and Kaden Carter. I love Cameron Grimes. Let's see. But like you said,
you shouldn't let your
I didn't even
biases
put his fucking $1
influence
million championship win on here, by the way, which annoys me.
Yeah, look at that. Look at all his accomplishments. I see what you love about him.
LA Knight had nothing up there too. Shut up.
It's because he also has no fucking accomplishments. Also a loser. Okay. You should put Baron Corbin.
And we
up there.
gave that like an A or whatever the fuck it was.
Baron Corbin would have something on his card.
Do they put shitty character for the last 3 years on there? Do they do that? Ever since he got out of the Lone Wolf character, he hasn't had one goddamn good character.
That's not true.
It is true.
When he was doing his like down on his luck broke motherfucker.
No,
gimmick,
that was garbage. No one even fucking felt bad for him because he was so hated. It was terrible.
His backstage stuff was so fucking funny though. I still remember one of his fucking promos where he's talking about he had spaghetti sauce on his shirt and he's talking about how he had a can of spaghetti and he had to open it, but then the can opener broke, so he had to open it by smashing it on the ground. Like, sorry, his character work in that period was so fucking good and is super underrated, and I will not hear any goddamn Baron Corbin slander from people about his character in that period because it wasn't a good idea, but his execution with it was always very good.
I couldn't disagree more. His last good character was the Lone Wolf character. It's not even close. None of those characters were fucking good. That's why he's had so many since. And the JBL pairing was fucking, might have been good on paper, but it was a fucking huge miss.
Well, that's because JBL fucking sucks.
I'm going to give, and because I have to fucking even it out with your score, we're going to give it
That's not how
C+.
you should score. That's not how
What?
you should score. That's not how you should score.
Yeah, it's a, because, yes it is. That's how I've been doing it the whole fucking goddamn show.
No, but what would your score be if I didn't score at all?
A B+.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind. I thought you were saying you intentionally put it higher to make mine come up more.
No.
Okay.
No. We're meeting in the middle, every other fucking pick.
I thought you were trying to undermine my.
I did undermine it by giving him a B+, technically.
Well, you know what I mean. Like intentionally inflating yours to more than you would have otherwise.
Oh, no. I was just saying I couldn't give it, because I was going to give it like a C-. I'm sitting there like, well, if that was the case, I'd be giving him a C+, and then it would be all the way down to a D- or D+. And I was like, well, I'm not going to give it that because I was going to give it the same grade as like a Katana Chance, Kaden Carter type deal, which would have made no sense for me to give a less grade to him than I would have Kaden Carter or Katana Chance and Kaden Carter rather. I gave it a B+. So going down to C+ meets in the middle with yours. All right, so who would you say won night 2 of the draft then? It was actually a lot closer than night 1, right? Do what?
We just graded them all. Just look.
I didn't write any of them down.
Oh. What the fuck are we doing here then?
They were all pretty close until the Asuka one, right? And then Asuka, that one was a big difference. So SmackDown took the big lead. But then they started creeping back in because Karrion Kross was terrible. New Day outshined Brawling Brutes. Then Rousey and LA Knight got the nod there. Ricochet and Braun got the nod there. So Raw's coming back in ahead. Pretty Deadly and Bronson Reed was pretty close. Alpha Academy killed Rick Boogs. And then this one, so Raw, really. Even though they got killed in that one round.
On feel alone, just because they got Rhea and Seth, and then also like put together a pretty solid tag team division, on feel alone, it does feel like Raw won. But it's hard to say. We'd have to actually go back and count.
Yeah, I mean, when SmackDown got 3 people that don't have anything on their cards in Shotzi, Cameron, and LA Knight.
Yeah,
it's kind of
Karrion Kross, and you know, they had some picks that weren't ideal.
It's almost like the old school SmackDown roster where they had the younger guys that haven't really done anything yet. You remember when they had the first ever draft, and Raw had like all the big hitters, and then SmackDown had like one big hitter like the Undertaker and Edge, and then it was a huge drop off with a bunch of young dudes. That's how it kind of feels here. Kind of like they're still fitting that mold of the draft.
Yeah.
So we'll give it to Raw for night 2, but SmackDown definitely won night 1 though.
Yeah. I mean, for what was available, I didn't think it was that bad. I think it was weird that they started off by saying that Brock Lesnar was in the fucking pool, and then they didn't even mention on Raw Talk or anything what they were doing with him. So I don't know what's going on. But I'm assuming he's just gonna do the I'm a free agent too thing like Omos and whoever. So.
Yeah, that's what happened. They announced that he was a free agent at Backlash. So.
Okay.
All right. So there are the grades and the draft picks that was night 2 of the WWE Draft 2023. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to comment with your opinions below. Who won night 2? What were your grades? Did you agree with us? Were they egregious like Ryan's Cameron Grimes grade? And give us a thumbs up, obviously, on the video too if you're watching this on YouTube.
Tell us how overrated Cameron Grimes is.
What the? Oh my god! All right, deuces for that video. Deuces.